All right, so welcome to the 4 Post Podcast on YouTube. We are here to discuss topical issues in football. What we do today is a review of weekend's action in terms of football across the top 5 leagues. Then we preview the Champions League round of 16 knockout second leg games. We'll be looking at the chances of the teams that lost heavy, the teams that won heavy, and then those that are in between. Talk of the Arsenals, the Liverpools, and the rest. We'll be here to review everything. My name is Asare Boadu. Together with the guys, we are about to start another healthy conversation in football. But let me ask this question. About your way near the in common and in a way different one. And I am from common emblem. Fiifi, what's your love language?
My love language is
physical touch.
Are you Fiifi?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, wait, physical touch.
But that's not the first one. The first one is quality time.
Okay.
Quality time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Kiki,
physical touch.
what's your love language?
Quality time. What's your
No problem.
Akomeah. Wait, physical touch. Wait.
What's your love language?
Respect.
No.
Respect your quality.
How is respect
love language.
love
Yes,
language?
it's a love language. Oba ubumi no.
No, they say no.
So how do you understand love language?
Sa ade ma me do oba.
And all the respect. But the man will blow up with my yes, master what do.
Break down love language for him.
Anya de obi break it down. Maybe I'm beginning.
But I respect no. And for you about.
I'm falling. Still the one am mo pray the ma kwose as mo person mo toto
I respect.
Na me who tell me say baby am beginning na.
So your love language is respect.
What is your love language?
I don't have a love language.
Wait, physical touch. I know I said that a word of affirmation. I said giving up give
physical touch.
Now what's wrong with somebody's love language is physical
It's nothing wrong with it. So you should accept it.
But you don't about you.
It's on into
No, making it look like
the truth is the love languages no. The 5 no. Oh, who only in
go there,
just that say
go there, lover boy.
85 in there.
word of affirmation, giving of gifts, quality time, physical touch, and
act of service.
Act of service.
Yeah.
Is it?
Good.
Yeah.
Act of service. So with the 5, and just what they about people. Obia follow and Nina, just that say
The most one.
the kind man your top priority. And that love language now, what can say, and the man do no. It is you. Dear wo ya yama wa.
Signals are picking.
Yeah, yama wa wo no feel say you
Na
don't.
so signal me cry na still have so respect how they signal me.
And it's how 5 near kind respect number for and
Service.
Yeah, act of service.
Cry one signal me.
Is there some person man somo? Omo young hene I say.
Akomeah katachi.
Okay.
Me hene.
Okay.
Me nana.
My king.
Mirror.
Me I look at them kume. They kume kan Mr. Akomeah.
So what's the sweetest words a lady has called you before?
Oh. I think the sweetest one is the sweetest one. They are Mr. Akomeah na charge.
Mr. Akomeah.
Also, omo voice be omo tied. Also on cano.
What's that so born?
Also on cano. Mr. Akomeah. Mr. Akomeah. Also bibi aje.
It's
Yeah, but sorry. Well, let's start the conversation. So, assuming the season comes to an end just now, who will be your player of the season?
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
Gabriel Magalhaes.
Why?
Gabriel Magalhaes.
Player of the season.
Gabriel Magalhaes.
No, so what the on decline rise.
Gabriel Magalhaes.
Okay, let me start with you. Why Gabriel?
Okay.
Why should he be the standout?
Take up allegation.
No problem. So why should he be the standout? So why should he be the... So why is he your pick? Tell us about Gabriel.
So, I mean, first off, if you say the season ends now, that means Arsenal have won the league.
Yeah.
He's in the league winning team.
Okay.
First off, Arsenal's most dominant foot this season has been their defense, in my opinion. how they defended games, the number of clean sheets. In fact, they started this season and the conversation was around if they were going to beat the 15-game record that Chelsea had before. Apart from that, one of the things that for some people has become more like a troll for Arsenal, but I don't think so, has been the number of goals they scored from set piece. I think about over 60 goals, they scored about 20-something of them from set plays. And one of the most dominant players in the set plays has been Gabriel Magalhaes. Okay. He has headed home most of those goals. He has been crucial for us now. Blocks, goals, set pieces, everything that you need for a team. And again, in that Arsenal team, there has not been a clear standout player in that team when you compare to what Bruno Fernandes is for Manchester United. And it is because at Manchester United, there are a lot of players that are not doing well. In fact, 98% of Manchester United players are not doing well.
Okay.
If you compare them to Bruno Fernandes. But at Arsenal, majority of the players are doing well. You can make mention of William Saliba, who is the centre-back pair for Gabriel. You can make mention of Piero Nkapie. In fact, David Raya is also doing well. Declan Rice, Martin Ibanez Zubimendi. You can mention even Victor Gyökeres. I mean, his numbers are not top
scorer.
Yeah, they are not great, but you can also mention his name as players that are doing well. And the team is more fruitful as a team, not as an individual. Manchester United have the opposite, where an individual has sort of those numbers have translated into he dragging them from where they are to where they are now. So yes,
so
Bruno is good.
Is that not what we should look at when we talk of
You're a good analyst. The individual.
When we are doing the analysis for overall best player, it shouldn't be about impact.
Not just that alone, because we have to understand that football is a team sport.
Okay.
So your impact should reflect on how your team was successful. Let me not take you too far.
So how will you measure success then? Because there can only be one winner.
Yeah, exactly. So let me not take you too far. Last season, Rafinha had better performance, numbers, what have you, for an individual level. But when it mattered most, those numbers could not translate into the team winning the ultimate, which was in the Champions League. For me also, those numbers of Bruno Fernandes, if there's somebody in another team that has been able to give out good performance and has managed to win the ultimate, for me, that trumps it. If you have half of this, it becomes one. But if you have just the individual success without team success, for me, that's not enough.
So that is what will make you choose Gabriel
Magalhaes over him.
But has he made the same impact as compared to Bruno?
I think he has. The only thing is that it is difficult to make an argument for Gabriel because he doesn't have the empirical data to show for.
Okay.
It's easy to pick up Bruno's numbers and say he has 16 assists, which is great. He has great and it's good. And again, the other bit is that in Manchester United, there hasn't been anybody as close to what Bruno has done. So it's easy to look at the United team and you pick him out. But if you look at Arsenal, even today, Arsenal fans are torn between Gabriel and then Rice. A lot of people think that Declan Rice. Whilst I think Declan Rice has had a good season, I think the second half of the season, he seemed to have dipped.
Okay.
Bruno Fernandes, not so much big impact in the first half, but he has maintained that level where he has been United's go-to man. And it has coincided with United picking form at the right time, where they've moved from 6th, 7th under Ruben Amorim to 3rd position, and they are comfortably going to get the Champions League football. So that's the thing. So yes, you can't get easily the data for Gabriel Magalhaes, but then you can't also tell me that you look at the Arsenal team and you can't see the dominance and the proper display of Gabriel Magalhaes. I mean, the Arsenal team, that's fine this season.
Akomeah, why would you choose Bruno?
I think first of all, I have to acknowledge the brilliant performances of certain key players in the Premier League. So, for example, looking at a player like Gabriel Magalhaes, just as Fiifi was saying, he's a centre-back with most goals in the Premier League this season.
Okay.
No other centre-back comes closer. Arsenal have literally conceded fewer goals.
22,
which when you even strike the average is around 0.7.
They rank, I think, it's second best in the top 5 leagues.
Absolutely top class. But I think where I decided to opt for Bruno Fernandes when it comes to these individual things is all about when you pick Gabriel Magalhaes out of this Arsenal team, how do they look? Does it really impact their performances defensively? Does it really cause a lot of problems for them? Can Arsenal survive without him for even a shorter stint like 3 or 2 games without him? Yes. In November, he went off for 6 games. Yeah. Arsenal won most of those games during that particular time. Not that they were playing that bad. They were that good. And they dominated even certain games within that period. With Mosquera. Yeah. Now, fast forward, you look at a player like Declan Rice. He's the person that I actually believe, he and David Raya, if I'm supposed to go to the Arsenal team and pick somebody that I want to give him the player of the season, I'll look at a player like David Raya because there have been point blank saves that he has done to save this team that I can count the number of times he has done that for Arsenal. Crucial moments within the game. Just a save. For example, against Everton, there were moments within the game, his choices and a lot of things kept Arsenal in that particular game until they found their last goal or they found their first goal from Victor Gyökeres. Then look at somebody like Declan Rice. Then he asks, can Arsenal do away without Declan Rice? In the whole setup of Arsenal, you watch it and you ask questions that in the absence of Declan Rice, who fits in? I can look around and I find nobody in that particular team. So even Arsenal fans start questioning themselves and start saying that when Declan Rice gets injured, who comes in and fits in so well? These are questions they ask. So you move to Manchester United and you look at Bruno.
I think for Gabriel, in the period that he was out, Arsenal lost a game against Aston Villa, and then they drew against Chelsea, and they won all their games played during that period. With him in the team, I think the only game they've lost against Manchester United. But there have been some draws.
There have been several draws.
Talk of this season.
So without him, there's not a huge change in that regard. Now let's look at someone like Bruno Fernandes.
And then he also played in that defeat to Liverpool.
Yes. So now you look at,
and then David Raya has I think the most assists across Europe. I stand to be corrected.
David Raya. David Raya.
Yeah.
Okay. From a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Clean sheets. Sorry.
Clean sheet. But you look at Bruno Fernandes.
The argument for somebody is going to be that for a goalkeeper, the clean sheet is not just down to him.
Yes, I agree to that.
But assist is also not just down to the creator.
That is why I made it quite clear that you see. That's why I made it quite clear that you can't take out people like David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Definitely they need to be there. But I'm actually going in for Bruno Fernandes because of certain reasons. One of the reasons being that you look at the whole Manchester United setup and you ask yourself that without Bruno Fernandes, where will Manchester United be?
That's not enough to make
He can be the best player at Manchester United with that. I've not actually ended the conversation.
Okay.
Manchester United is having 54 points now. No.
Please allow him to flow.
Manchester United is having 54 points now. Bruno Fernandes assists and goals this season
26
has contributed to 23 points.
23 or 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Added out of the 54 points. So this is a player we are talking about that without him, the club will be lingering around the relegation zone.
Because club
without any proper thing to talk about.
And is that not what impact is about?
Impact of Manchester United. That is not the impact of the Premier League.
No, but then again, for instance, in the season where should you always be tied to winning?
Don't worry.
It should.
No, because
it should. Because Akomeah, Michael, if it's not supposed to be tied to winning, then it should be extremely successful. Like I agree with Kiki to mention something off air.
Kiki.
Did you do a quickie this afternoon?
I think so.
Quick what?
I came for the office.
I like that one.
Let's just not toy and walk about quickie woman now.
Quickie.
Okay.
Okay, no, flow.
So what I want to say is that if Bruno breaks the records of De Bruyne and Henry, say he has
21 assists.
No, not 21. 25.
Okay. I like you.
Plus say 5 more goals. That is record breaking. Then you can say, okay, Bruno is, because you can't just use the fact that he stands out at Manchester United, and clearly he does. Akomeah is 100% right. But in the Premier League, he's not the creme de la creme. I can also agree that Arsenal doesn't have somebody that trumps over everybody. If Arsenal probably had a goal scorer who had like 30 goals this season, it would have been a conversation. But they don't. And even more so, their best player that we are mentioning, they are in the defensive midfield area, defender area. It is hard to find numbers for those people. You help me by mentioning Gabriel's numbers.
I'm coming in. You look at Gabriel. I've given you substantive numbers which actually pushes him towards that award. For Declan Rice, you can talk about the number of passes he's played in the Premier League against certain defensive midfielders. Long passes, tackles, interceptions. We can go on that particular tangent. But Fiifi, You see, in the context of discussing whatever Bruno Fernandes has done in the Premier League for Manchester United is not playing any other competition aside the Premier League. So definitely whatever he does at Manchester United.
In the FA Cup,
no, I'm talking about they are all out. So everything Bruno Fernandes does for Manchester United in the Premier League directly affects them in the Premier League.
Of course.
So he doesn't change it. Now, this is a team that when we started the season, everybody was talking about this team finishing around 10th or 8th. Yes.
But
No, I'm coming in. Fee.
So top scoring defenders in the league. The two from Spurs, what are their names?
Van de Ven and Christian Romero.
Yep, and Malik Dow.
They are the top defenders in the league.
Yeah, 4 goals.
4 goals.
Gabriel 3. So yeah, basically Gabriel is in the top 2, like he said. Gabriel top 2 for high scoring defenders in the league. So it fits in. I don't think 3 goals should.
But a defending contribution, because he's a defender primarily.
If there's somebody to pick from that, I think it's Declan.
Just as you said about Raya, I don't think we can use Arsenal's overall defensive prowess to limit it to just
one
Gabriel.
player. They said they're able to.
Because there have been periods he's not been available. They've kept clean sheets. They've had excellent defensive metrics. I hope you get me.
Yes, but
unless there are standout numbers from Gabriel that says he's number 1 for blocks in the Premier League, number 1 for tackles won in the Premier League.
I think we should look at
it. Declan Rice can compete with Casemiro.
I so much love a point that Fiifi made. Yes, Bruno is a standout. He's doing well. But then again, what is the industry standard? For a creator, most assists. Is he top? Has he broken a certain uncharted territory?
I wanted to come in. You see, Bruno.
No, what Bruno has done now is to break what Manchester United had with David Beckham
in the Premier League.
Just it.
There is no doubt about the quality of a player like Gabriel Magalhaes, but in the Arsenal team. I will even look at a player like Declan Rice.
Okay.
So if I'm picking Declan Rice in the same context, Declan Rice and Bruno Fernandes head to head when it comes to the Premier League. This season, Bruno Fernandes played 16 matches as a central midfielder. Out of the 16 matches, he scored 5 goals, contributed to 6 assists.
Should it be about goals and assists?
No, it's not even about goals and assists.
Exactly.
Then we'll drop down to the number of tackles, the number of ball recoveries, the number of even passes completed. All of these things are said important. Which for that particular part, I believe that one way or the other, Declan Rice shuts Bruno up in terms of the passes and certain tackles. But when it comes to the context of what Bruno also contributed as a midfielder, aside even losing the tackles and the possession and all of these things to Declan Rice, is his ability to create from even that particular range. Mike, the number of chances Bruno Fernandes created even before being moved back to the central attacking midfield position is mind-blowing.
So you think what he has done now should fetch him the overall player of the season award?
Yes.
You don't think he needs to do more?
Okay, the season has not ended. He needs to do more.
I think that's what Fiifi said.
The season hasn't ended. Every single player needs to do more. Declan Rice will need to do more. Gabriel Magalhaes will need to do more.
No.
But because the truth is, I just don't understand. Fee made a correct analysis by saying that the Arsenal team, all of them were ways and means that they contributed where you can make it for everybody because they are just good.
It's more about the squad.
Yes, it's about the structure and the team. There's no stand-up player say, Boadu did not. That's how come last season United was 15th. But yes, to Bruno Fernandes was part of the nominees.
Okay.
Top 6.
The year Gabriel won the player of the year. That year, the stand-up player was Van Persie. With over 24 goals. But I'm hearing him cry. With Gary Bill.
Because Gary Bill's performance was exceptional.
Good.
Good.
What's the definition of exceptional?
No, but it's not exceptional for me.
Because attacker.
Somebody has done it before. What he's doing.
Bruno Fernandes has never had 16 assists in a league before.
No, but somebody because he last season the PFA, I don't know if it was young player of the year or so.
The industry standard is 20. Held by 2 players.
Okay.
Thierry Henry, 2002-2003. Then there is Kevin De Bruyne.
Good.
Can I ask the question?
20 assists in the season. There are even other players who are ahead, like Fabregas with 18 and the likes. So what Bruno has done is not the industry standard.
Okay.
And I think that is the point Fiifi made.
Okay, so if you are making reference to...
If the season is to end,
I'm coming.
Manchester United qualifies for the Champions League. which is a tangible success relatively, then Bruno has broken that industry record.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can even put up an argument and say he doesn't deserve it.
You think Gareth Bale, there was an industry standard as at that particular season, which he actually performed about.
Honestly, I don't have his records off the top of my head.
You can even use the Thierry Henry's because Thierry
No,
Henry,
I'm talking about Gareth Bale.
Yes.
And the season he won the PFA Player of the
Yeah,
Year.
I'm sure he had
so I'm
something
coming.
that was exceptional. But
Well,
Michael,
yeah,
just before we go into that, I tried to compare Gabriel Magalhaes to other centre backs in the Premier League this season, and I think you already mentioned this. The number of clean sheets that Arsenal have had 13, the number of goals they've conceded, just 13 goals. In all of that, that is huge actually.
With him in the team.
Yeah, and you see, I can understand when we say that it's not just down to him, but everybody also knows that in that Arsenal team, he's the leader of the back line.
Yeah.
He is the leader of the
He's taking over the leadership from Saliba.
He's the leader of the back line, and he makes things take over there. Now, when you compare it to other centre backs in terms of the general performance analytics this season, the top centre backs in the Premier League, according to Squawka, Ruben Diaz is number 1 with 75%, but Ruben Diaz have played fewer games. Number 2 is Gabriel Magalhaes with 74% in terms of performance, and of course, Maguire is 2nd. That is not enough. The defensive actions per match.
Okay.
Somebody who engages and does his job as a defensive action per match, per 90, that is Gabriel Magalhaes is leading with 1.33 tackles, 0.75 interceptions, and 5.86 clearance. The clearance number is very high, and it reflects the role as Arsenal's box defender and area protector for Gabriel Magalhaes. There are a lot of strength for him. The goal contribution also, we did mention, he has 3 goals and 4 assists in all competition this season. Yes, we are looking at the goals in the Premier League, which is 3, and other assists in the English Premier League, which is also very important because the point of conversation is in the English Premier League. I think that he's an aggressive defender. He's Arsenal's best defender. He's a leader at the back. And if you're saying that Arsenal's strength is in the defense, then he is the man to represent Arsenal, especially if Arsenal wins the league. And if the season is ending now, then Arsenal winning the league, I think it's Gabriel Magalhaes. Unless
better than David Raya in that Arsenal defense.
Unless Bruno Fernandes does the unthinkable, gets me 25 assists, 26 assists, 27 assists. That's when I can vote for him if I have the chance to vote.
You're 21 crown.
And in Drew.
I'm not 21. You said the standard you're 20.
Now,
21.
One year.
Now, 5. There's a 10 assist.
Somebody
What do you mean?
Now, it's more to me.
Say Chelsea, but my 3 assists.
Exactly. But come here, assist.
Gabriel, I don't think Gabriel is the best.
Michael, why do you think Raya is better than Gabriel in the Arsenal team?
Fiifi, I think there has been several games which I believe Raya rather saved Arsenal rather than the defensive shape of Arsenal. The number of chances they've conceded, they were literally open in a lot of games at certain stages during the season, which I felt point blank saves, crucial saves from David Raya. That is when even the conversation came about as to who is going to be the Spanish national team number 1 goalkeeper. Should it be Juan Garcia or even... That's when the argument came about. He saved them a lot. But for Bruno Fernandes, Fiifi, you see, the numbers that Bruno is racking up in this particular Premier League season is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Just like two chances creation away from getting 100 chances created in the top 5 leagues. Absolutely monstrous by playing in 2 different positions this season. Played as a central midfielder, as a partner for Casemiro for most part of the season, and playing as a central attacking midfielder. Everywhere producing whatever that he's supposed to produce with our numbers. So if I'm picking somebody like Declan Rice, I will look at what he contributes as a central midfielder. Bruno, what he contributed as a central midfielder. Then the extras that comes attached to it, then we can strike it. But the industry standard we are talking about, just maybe where I would agree with you is because if Bruno scores or does 16 assists in a single season, it's a record breaking for Manchester United. He says there. But if you get something around 20, get something around 21, if you trust you me, that is a proper record breaking season for him. Even including the number of chances he has created in the Premier. I think he's on the same path in terms of breaking certain records in that regard.
Do you know that if you really want to assess Bruno Fernandes, it should actually be the number of chances that he has created from open play and not the assist?
Oh yes, he has created a whole number of chances from open play.
Great.
I think he's second across.
No, second across Europe, first in
exactly.
the league.
And if you really want to assess Gabriel Magalhaes as the best player, then you look at the number of defensive actions, and he's also the best. And if you want to assess
okay, let me get to David Raya and come.
If you want to assess David Raya, you're looking at the shot stopping numbers in itself, because those are the ones that are individual down to him.
He has the best shot per save per shot ratio.
I mean, yeah,
in the league,
and that is
ahead
huge.
of the likes of Donnarumma and
when you look at
so for me, that is why now, that's why I said that I think there's at least one more player in Arsenal team that is better than Bruno Fernandes today. Unless in the next 8 games, Bruno does unthinkable.
Well, let's talk about specifics. You think players are doing better, but the teams, Carrick has transformed Manchester United. I think we've spoken at length about this development and everything. But did everything that happened this weekend point towards the fact that Manchester United will make the Champions League, Arsenal will win the league? There's no way back for City. Quickly before we jump to,
I think that this weekend was just the final chance for people who doubt Arsenal to have a change of heart.
Okay.
I mean, Michael, our argument for those of us on that side of the conversation was that if you don't trust Mikel Arteta, granted, he has not done it before. He doesn't have what it takes to show. But the Man City that you say have been good enough, this season have not showed those prowess that they've showed seasons before. And clearly they did that Nottingham Forest and also this weekend, West Ham United. They showed that they're just not there.
Relegation battlers.
Yeah, when it's tough for Arsenal, they find a way to win. When it's tough for Manchester City this season, it has not. I think Michael Carrick has done exactly what he has to do. Win games, don't think about any other thing. Just win games. And he has done that, especially at home. They were up against a very tough Aston Villa side, not because of current form, but because of what Villa have done throughout the season and what United has been able to use the team to do. And I think they did exactly that. For me, the biggest thing with Manchester United is the reaction when goals are equalized against them or when they go down. I think that is where United have been very strong this season. I saw it against West Ham United away at the London Olympic Stadium. And the last time out as well, they scored a goal, they conceded, and quickly they had to come back to it. And I think that is a dominant performance. It shows a team that is ready to fight. Nothing else matters. Whether United play 2 years before they play another game, 2 months, 3 months, doesn't matter. They just have to win what's in front of them. And they are doing just that. And also coupled with the performances of Liverpool, Chelsea, and Aston Villa, it makes it almost certain that United will get Champions League qualification. I don't know where that leaves the rest of the teams. I just think that Chelsea may be able to creep in just because of Villa's also bad form, and maybe Liverpool if they get 5. Villa themselves have the Europa League. And mind you, one of the coaches that is the best in that competition is Unai Emery.
Yeah.
So they may just win the Europa League and come into the Champions League, and the league will not matter. But that is how I see the league going. However, I think Liam Wilson has a lot to do. Maybe I'm sure we'll come back to that later.
Okay. Kiki, let me give you this. Casemiro should be made to extend his Manchester United stay beyond this season. Do you buy into that?
Yeah, I believe
a lot
so.
of calls from people. Oh, any time man come on the China, combo 1 season Samsung count, judging by the form that he's in. True. Should he stay beyond the stem?
It depends on where everybody is making the argument from. But with me, I would want him to stay for another year. But see, right now, football goes beyond what you want and the economic part of the game.
Okay.
Looking at how much he is taking in our team, he's literally the most, paid player in our team right now.
I think close to £20 million a season.
It's a season, and it's huge for
that
us.
That is with Champions League football and other bonuses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And looking at his age and all that, you would want him to reduce. So that is what is happening between us and Harry Maguire. That if you want to extend, you have to go there because we need to reinvest in the team. And there's a whole lot of economic, backlash. Looking at how when Ratcliffe came, a lot of people were losing their jobs in the club because we wanted to find ways and means to get money to help the team out. So yes, when it comes to the economic aspect, if he can reduce his money, why not? But when it comes to his contribution to the side, it will be very good for us. See, in as much as we are talking about his defensive and his, eyes when it comes to reading the game and all that, he contributes a lot when it comes to goal scoring.
Yeah.
This season, he scored 7 goals. Among 4 strikers don't have that goals. A bit more strikers.
The lap, how many
doing?
Okay. I just asked
a bit more strikers. I don't know. Akomeah Obo Isaki di. Memeng Kai Isak.
Okay, Isaki.
Membo Isaki di Akomeah.
So the lap, Isaac, Casemiro has more goals than the two combined.
But himself go some for strikers.
So Casemiro, so what you are saying essentially is Casemiro has more goals than
some top strikers.
The summation of goals between Isaac and then Delap. Sana pesoche.
Sana mo
so can Isaac goals ne Delap Diebo Casemiro Ashabro. Okay.
So he has been contributing good to the team. And looking at his, influence, I was listening to Yoro and Dalo that they would want Casemiro to stay. The reason is simple. See, next season will be, should I say, some early force of revolution for Manchester United if you want to build on whatever we are doing right now. And looking at our midfield, where everybody is screaming, United need new midfield, and we are going to buy 2-3 midfielders. Look at the type of players we want. The Elliot Andersons, the Balebes, and the only player I would say that is linked to United midfield that has some good experiences, Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali. And I look at this midfield, and I think this midfield is coming to meet a new coach, and it is more like a total new setup. Already we are complaining about even Kobe Mainoo's influence. Akomeah is one guy that's always complaining about.
So you think they would need an experienced head like Casemiro around?
Yeah, so I feel
also play a part.
Good to at least usher them into the game. Try to protect them one or two.
But you have issues with the financial part.
Exactly, that's the financial bit. But when it comes to his contribution in terms of leadership on and off the ball. Because we are entering into the Champions League. Most of the midfielders that will be coming don't know that league
better than he does.
Exactly. So we will need some experience. Last time we were talking about how Chelsea is messing up with their indiscipline issues. And we were talking about they don't have leaders and all that. So if you are losing these kind of leaders, Rebecca Bruno see a new coach coming. Right now I think it will be probably between De Zerbi and you get it. Women but now Casemiro Bruno Charlie
for the dressing room presence. I think I get your point, because aside the football and everything, you still need a leadership council, if that is the right word, a team of leaders who would help the new coach to settle in. True. And then also play a part in trying to whip the other players in line when they veer off. You get it? So that there is not like a player mutiny sort of. Clubs at Manchester United, it is easy for players to just go wayward and then try to antagonize the manager. It is so simple. Yeah. So when you have leaders like that, then they will play such a role and help the managers. At Akomeah, what is your take on this? Casemiro staying or leaving?
I think we should allow Casemiro to leave. Definitely, you look at the monetary staffs around the club and what they need to do. The biggest problem of Manchester United is their inability to move on certain players and being emotionally attached to it.
Okay.
The issue I have with him staying is going to be an emotional decision. Okay, Casemiro has performed in the last 6 months, 7 months. Let him stay. You don't actually know what is going to happen next season when we start the season.
I don't support the argument that as outside the pitch, the role he will likely play.
He does a lot of things to help.
If I reframe the question this way, that we want Casemiro to stay, not necessarily because he is come to play, but you will still buy our midfielders.
A very good question. I think first of all, is he going to accept the role of being somebody who is just going to be on the bench and try and come in when the team lacks options or something of that sort? Because at the beginning of the season, in as much as the likes of Ugarte and Co were playing over him, there were issues here and there. Sometimes you could look at his posture, you could look at his facial expression, and you see that he's not happy at all. And he believes this is a World Cup year. This might probably be his last World Cup. After the World Cup, what next? There's a lot of things he can do after the World Cup. Go to Saudi, take money, stay somewhere with the family, go to the United States, in the MLS, stay with the family. Not enough pressure. If Casemiro is leaving the club, then Manchester United should make sure that Harry Maguire doesn't leave. Make sure that they extend his contract. Experience, dressing room influence, you need him. Bruno Fernandes stays. Johnny Evans should be part of that dressing room. Tom Heaton should be part of that particular dressing room. These two people, I think they are huge influence they bring to this team that is not really talked about. You listen to most of the interviews by these Manchester United players, and what they say is, since Johnny Evans came to the team, there are a lot of things he's been telling them, he's been teaching them, and they believe he's really helping them a lot.
Okay.
Tom Heaton has been doing this since, helping the young guys that come in. And I think one thing that also helped Manchester United is going into the market and buying Premier League proven players. Because I don't think Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo needed to adapt for a long period of time and understand what it means to play for Manchester United. So even if you are buying 2 midfielders and you're allowing Casemiro to leave, go to the Premier League, at least buy one that will come in, understand what it means to play for Manchester United, being guided by the likes of Bruno Fernandes. Then anybody that you bring from outside England can come and complement and make sure that the team comes out good at the end of the day. Because next season is really tough. Next season, Manchester United, if they should qualify for the Champions League, will be playing in 5 competitions. The Premier League, the EFL Cup, is at 4. The FA Cup, then the Champions League itself. So 4 competitions.
And the truth is, we are playing to compete.
Yes, you are not playing more or less to win it.
Yes.
And if you want to compete, it is also important to make sure that you have a proper balance that will make you qualify for Champions League again.
Okay, so
for the following season.
So ideally, let's say all conditions prevailing are ideal. Would you want Casemiro to stay?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because I think he has done what he's supposed to. He should leave when the applause are high. I know what this team can do to him. When he did not have...
But it means that all the success that United have chalked, per what you said, what Kiki has said, there's a tendency that all of that comes climbing down with a new manager.
New manager, new midfield altogether.
Are you okay?
I think for a new manager and new players, it depends on the kind of vision that the likes of Walkers and Vivel wants to see.
But the vision is to continue
No,
building.
Fifi. So if you want to continue building, that means it should reflect in the kind of coach you are supposed to bring in.
Can we change that to depending on the realistic vision of Manchester United, where they are as a club? Because if Walkers has a wrong vision, then your job again will be to explain to all the Manchester United fans that
I think the realistic position they see Manchester United now is they actually believe that
because now you're going to, let's say you finish the season 3rd. United fans believe that
next
we
season
should push
you should be winning.
Champions League. Let's push in. That we all know that maybe a little bit too much to ask of a new manager.
That is the same kind of situation Chelsea also finds themselves in.
Yeah.
You see, reality, expectations,
Rushed success.
a lot of things, and there's a need to actually clarify it well.
Yeah.
And I always said something during Eric Ten Hag's time at Manchester United that there was the reality, there was the expectation, and there was certain success that he chalked that I actually believe these are intermittent success. It can come, but it is not something that is sustainable for the next 3 years or 4 years. Whatever Walkers and Vivel and Co. they are trying to build at Manchester United should be something that should be able to put the team on its feet for the next 5 years. 6 years, because that's what Manchester City did.
But again,
they did not come into the picture and they just...
You are not able to build such a team for 5 years in one summer.
It's not about 5 years in one summer. But there are certain signings that takes you like 2 years above. For example, I think the attack of Manchester United now, in terms of Manchester United's attack and reliance on getting goals, it has actually moved that part or phase of the project to like 1.5 years faster than what I expected.
Do you know that Chelsea has outscored Manchester United this season?
There's a reason why I'm saying that, Fee.
No, I just want to put the situation into context. I just want to put the situation
into context. I know Chelsea has outscored Manchester United. But the reason why I'm saying it has taken them 1.5 season ahead is now they have somebody who is a Premier League proven player. They've proven themselves in the league. They've scored double digits. Now they've come to Manchester United.
And they've not scored double digits.
And I think Mbeumo is 1 goal away from scoring double digits. Cunha is like...
It goes like 10.
Yeah, 10, 11. It's away.
João Pedro has outscored that.
Yes, I know. Yeah. And I know.
So that's
but
why...
When you look at these 3 players, Fiifi said the Cunha tour.
Yeah.
Near the Mbeumo tour.
Yeah, they are good.
Now, in the long
what I'm trying to
term,
say...
you look at
what I'm trying to say is that... See, the problem is not if these players can play in the long term. First thing, let me use Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia. Caicedo, Enzo.
I think the realistic is Caicedo and Enzo. The amount of money you spent on them.
Forget about the amount of money.
No, I'm talking about the investment.
No.
Because you knew what they will give you in the next 5 years.
Exactly, no. Forget about the amount of money. You are talking about the quality of the players. I don't talk about the amount of money because a lot of things go into that.
Because quality attracts money.
But Akomeah, would you believe me when I say United have spent more on Casemiro than Chelsea has spent on Ida and Enzo?
Oh yes, Caicedo. I agree.
So in the end,
the amount really doesn't matter like that.
Is it?
Michael, what I'm trying to say is that when you buy a new manager, and that's what I hope, because I know that it will come down to you, because usually you want to look at the nitty-gritties and say, you know what, it doesn't mean the manager is bad. Granted, let's say, which manager would you like to come next season? Just one name.
There's only one manager who should come. Luis Enrique.
Let's say Luis Enrique takes the job.
Realistically.
Well, that is the only
That's
manager.
what he wants.
That is the manager I want.
That's what he wants.
There be a niggas man.
That is the reality is.
Let's say
Deserbi
he wants a
Nagelsmann.
new challenge. Takes the United challenge. Comes to Manchester United.
Oh, I am Munjai.
Brings Elliot Anderson. Brings Carlos
No,
Baliba.
are you aware Bayern Munich is looking for Elliot Anderson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if United gets Champions League, I think they can convince.
Buy it mean talk.
They get
Anderson
Champions
free.
League.
Yay!
If they get Champions League, I think they can convince you.
Yay! Anderson. United.
No, you see, I love this whole talk about United and the buzz around it and everything. This is a feel good moment. Yeah. Just enjoy it. Nothing has been sorted out yet. Now you don't know. There is no clear headway regarding the technical direction. We don't know. There are no guarantees that so and so players
when
are
the coach comes.
So that is the reason why.
So you see, we are trying to
you have to keep them. And that's what I was asking Michael. That if you let Casemiro go
again, you're trying to fuse the feel good moment and then project it into the future. Don't merge the two. They are two different things entirely. When this season ends and you've made a Champions League, then you embrace the new challenge.
Yeah.
Whatever happens this season prior to its end will have no direct consequence on how you play from next season.
Yeah.
Because it looks like there will not be a lot of carryover. Most of the things that happen this season, you will drop them. Carrick will likely be dropped.
Yeah.
Steve Holland or whoever he is, he will be dropped.
To go with Carrick.
Exactly. Then again, the playing body. We are talking about Casemiro. No guarantees about Bruno.
Yes.
We don't know yet. You get it? So there will be changes.
Of course.
So that is the point about United. Just enjoy now. Stop worrying about the future. That is my point. But I think this whole Casemiro bit has not been a worthwhile investment. Another day I will explain to you why. I don't think it was an investment that was worth it.
And in the first place, I think Manchester United rushed into the decision to bring in Casemiro because they were frustrated with how the Frankie de Jong situation unfolded. But it doesn't also mean that Casemiro, since he joined Manchester United, has not had an impact on the team. He has. But I think if you look at the broader picture, it is one signing that made us stagnant or set us back like 2 years in terms of rebuilding. Because if you have a young chap, by now we'd have built to a certain level with the player.
Young chap,
Frankie de Jong. Now if he's like a Frankie de Jong, Frankie de Jong, Manchester. Now Imani said Frankie de Jong, Fred.
That aside, you mentioned Chelsea and Liam Rosinia. What about them?
Boy, Aquaro size says yes.
In Tebe.
What about?
That's Aquaro me checking. Liam. See. They be men can't say yo. I'm a monster. Men can't say a top coach. But I like the fact that he always wants to do something. See, this match against Newcastle. Decided say, and that is the only problem I have with him is that I also want the time to do certain things. See, we are in a sensitive moment of the season. Yeah, pre-Champions League. See, Chelsea, there's a high probability say A, B, a PhD in a frame. So the PhD in a frame are there, or the consoling qualifying for Champions League.
And FA Cup so.
FA Cup so go bet me aje. Ohe a free third to Seta. Yeah, na ya shada nya de esa. United bet me ko lose. Chelsea winning no. No so they award Liverpool so they yeah, Tom enjoy being here. So if you have a chance to cement that position is good. But I said sometimes the person or trying obviously the tactical you know how you press. You always want to press with Pedro and Fernandes. This time we decided to be changing pressing style. Starting with Garnacho. So Garnacho and targeted Thiago. Changing all the press system. And sad Joya and Adrian saw it changing the whole structure of the press. Because I feel you leave Livramento the free space. Garnacho and Timian press or send your pen. And why would you want to change the whole setup of press against a team like Newcastle for the past two matches? I'll probably 2-3 matches, what's Manchester United on the Barca draw, like so I think Liam has been doing well, but I think only the most important thing to say the character, do the basics and what they are qualifying. Now, we have time for preseason now.
Why are we contract
level? But right now, no, during the season, a sensitive moment and all time, and I got 8 matches many a week. That's the time I'm all trying, tactical skills.
I know more room line, Ebia.
And I'm saying,
I'm room so bad, second season. Yes, so worry. When the principles
when you look at Liam and then Chelsea, do you see a future?
No. It's simple to me who future and Chelsea.
And they bless
see, it's so clear. See, that is what is happening to Manchester United right now, like you said. Not Chelsea, I was in a building process. Tama Todd Bolle mobile, no more year, Juman to crabby gum, they were doing well. And I'm called Maresca. Maresca, yeah, you are not doing Pempen, so be a Chelsea Timid Conference League, Chelsea Timid World Championship. So automatically, Chelsea minimum hour for more issue, more success. The fans, minimal. So the management.
Let me ask you this question again before you continue. Do you think if it was Maresca that came in at the time Liam Rosinia came, would he have been able to make a better impact than Rosinia has?
Yes. The reason is simple. I'll talk from experience and where he was coming from.
Where?
He came from Leicester. I'll do the championship. While working under Pep Guardiola and some other big coaches at a big club.
Don't you think he had a bit of a grace in playing in the Conference League, a less demanding competition where relatively any opponent Chelsea faced on paper and in reality, Chelsea were better than, that they could afford to use a lot of fringe players and they were still getting the results. Then the only other credible competition they were in was the Premier League. I want us to just detach the Club World Cup and whatever.
Okay.
Don't you think any manager who goes through such a first phase in such terms would do well?
Well, see, you can make a case for, Maresca in that aspect. But see, in a certain aspect, I will also say Maresca made the job quite easier for Liam. The reason is simple. He built a team to a certain level. Do you get it? Liam, and then the team knew.
Now, how about Pochettino also making it easier for Maresca?
Obian that to make it easier for Pochettino.
So you get the point. Personally, I think Liam is a good coach, but he came to Chelsea at the wrong time. That is my stance. I don't know, but Fiifi, Akomeah, I throw the rest to you. I think he's a good coach who came at the wrong time.
I think that I agree with Kiki to an extent. Liam is probably doing a little bit too much. And you see, honestly, I think that football and its fans and all of that is a very crazy business. It was just 2 weeks ago, everybody was singing the praise of Liam Rosinia.
Yeah.
Then he goes away to Paris Saint-Germain. He's faced with a big decision. Are you going with the shot-stopping goalkeeper or are you going with the ball-playing goalkeeper? He decides to go with the ball-playing goalkeeper. For 95 minutes, the ball-playing goalkeeper is good enough. One bozo moment, everything goes down the sink. Then he comes to Stamford Bridge and he has a decision to make. He didn't press too aggressive against Paris Saint-Germain. He feels that that's where Paris Saint-Germain got their space to hit them. He decided to go very aggressive, man for man, against Newcastle. That's it. And then his defenders failed to do their job, especially also in the midfield also. Reece James, for me, failed to track the runs of even, what's his name?
Gordon.
No, not Gordon, the former Arsenal player.
Willock.
Joe Willock. Before even Fofana also fails to do his job. Then Chelsea don't manage not to win the game. And I think that load has now gotten Reece James also injured. So Reece is injured, Chelsea lost, Paris Saint-Germain also beat Chelsea. You have a big Champions League game tomorrow. Just in the space of 1 week. And you remember when Chelsea drew against Leeds United, we said that, it was that Cole Palmer mess. And it's nothing. They were going to play against Burnley. They led against Burnley.
And led.
Then equalized the last minute. Then now, in just that 3 weeks or so, everything has gone from good, Chelsea are okay, to a proper gloomy season. In fact, last night, I saw people say, Liam will be sacked before the end of the season. And in my head, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's the same Chelsea cycle over and over again. I think Liam just has to manage the team till the end of the season to get Champions League. Forget about what happens against Paris Saint-Germain tomorrow. Whether Chelsea win or they don't win, they qualify, they don't qualify. that will be important only for 90 minutes. Before or after the 90 minutes, that game doesn't matter.
Okay.
The rest of the most important thing is Chelsea has to qualify for the Champions League. And if they can go to at least the semi-final of the FA Cup, do you know why? Because Chelsea has the least difficult game in terms of the matches in the quarter-final of the FA Cup.
Up next, I think Port Vale.
Yeah, Port Vale. They need to get to the semi-final and probably push into the final. You get that to qualify for the Champions League. That is a little bit close to what Maresca did in his first term.
Okay.
And you can say, well, I was in the FA Cup final. Chelsea have not been there. And if you manage to win, that is probably mind-boggling. You've won another trophy and then you've qualified for the Champions League. But if he doesn't do the needful and then want to change a lot of things in a short time, chances are high that Paris Saint-Germain will beat Chelsea tomorrow when they are through. Chances are high that Chelsea don't get it. Chelsea are constantly being gifted a chance to play in the Champions League because of Aston Villa. Because
Even Liverpool.
And Liverpool. Yesterday, if that United Aston Villa game had ended in a draw, Villa would have gotten 1 more point in. Liverpool, 1 more point, by just 1 point from Chelsea. Chelsea has a chance to play against them. You can't make it too complicated for yourself by increasing their points gap before then. Chelsea has to play against Everton. You need to find a way to win against Everton. You play against Manchester City. I think that should be the first game that Liam Rossini wins that is called a big game because people say he can't play big game.
No, he's not won any big game.
Exactly.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, so that should be the big game that he wins to put himself there. It's not easy, but there are certain low-hanging fruits that he needs to go after. He should forget about press scheme. He should forget about those things and that don't matter. I think that also he has been let down by there's certain things that Maresca had that he has not had. Maresca had the best of Cole Palmer. Liam has not had it. Liam literally is having probably the worst Cole Palmer since he came to Chelsea.
Okay.
This is the worst moment of Cole Palmer. Into me. This is the worst moment of Cole Palmer. And that should have been the go-to man for Chelsea. To the extent that even Joao Pedro doesn't play well, he goes out, you bring in Liam Delap and it's worse. Then you ask yourself,
Ipswich will likely qualify for the Premier League, So
He's
Liam
gonna take their
Rossini
player.
can go on loan. Delap.
I'm also some coach.
Liam Delap.
Delap.
Can go on
Johnson Anna.
Yeah. he
Yeah,
can.
bio.
Johnny
Ono
Sins.
young koyo. What Todd Bolly ana?
Why?
Todd Bolly. I say the lap is his gold, and he knows that.
Because I look at him and you can see that no, he's
But I'm
going through a lot.
player, no.
He's going through a
Also,
lot.
Mama-
yeah, but the guy
Not a
came and he
top
got injured.
striker.
You see,
No,
I mean,
top striker.
I don't want to hold brief for him.
See,
but then the reality is that
you know why I thought that signing was not supposed to be meant for Chelsea at the end of the day.
My problem is the
Before he joined Chelsea, I saw a certain statistics from the Athletic detailed for him, and I think you can get the best out of him, especially when you sit deep in low blocks, and there is more counter-attack or transitional football. He's a proper ball carrier, tries to move the ball up the field using his strength and his pace, then gets his goal scoring. The moment you play him against teams that sit deep, you're a dominant possessive side. There's going to take time for him to adapt, or he's really going to struggle in
so you see, the plan for Maresca for him was, if you remember last season, Chelsea were conceding very late.
Yeah.
So the plan is that maybe you score one, the game becomes tough.
Then you defend.
Yeah, teams
Then
are
you
coming to defend. Then you bring him on.
bring him on.
He heads them.
and
Yes, and that's Sesko. Sesko last week he had never.
It's my- when they play possessive football, he's really going to struggle.
But-
He's really-
but-
so I think he would have been best fit for clubs like Sunderland, Newcastle United.
Also, if we had a system where there were proper wingers, and you see that's another big problem for Chelsea.
See, in your team,
That's someone
there's no way.
No.
I think
Ganato,
Liam Delap will be comfortable.
I think they are.
Neto.
If Chelsea were having a more developed Estevao, maybe they'll get in next season, and a proper left winger.
Na Ganato ya dia.
Oh, Garnacho near the kind of left winger we need
Kiki.
for the teams we play against.
Let's move on.
Getting. No.
Let's talk Champions League. Chelsea have a daunting task against Paris Saint-Germain.
Chelsea no wine.
PSG. Chelsea are down.
What's your analysis on that?
3-0. Is there a way out?
Like, you see, there has been only one English Premier League that has overturn the 3-0 deficit from the first leg. That is Liverpool. You see, but there's one thing also about Chelsea, Mike. If I'm speaking about them in such nights, I'm very careful.
And the Liverpool team that did it,
you see,
hadn't done anything remarkable in Europe by then.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's something about this Chelsea team that whenever you are speaking about them in terms of overturning results, you need to leave a little bit of window.
Do you think this Chelsea team is capable?
Oh, Mike, they will win the game, but I don't think they qualify. They will try. They will push. The reason I'm saying that is, this Chelsea team can score 3 goals or 4 goals. They can. But I'm asking myself, can they keep a clean sheet against Paris Saint-Germain side?
Why not?
Because I believe their defense now is not really that good. And in the absence of a player like Reece James, who brings a level of physicality into the team, in the absence of Levi Coyle, who was very instrumental in the setup against PSG in the Club World Cup
final. Would you be surprised if Badiashile plays and Chelsea keeps a clean sheet?
No, I don't think Chelsea keeps a clean sheet against PSG. It's not happening. I think Chelsea will win the game, but
bad man.
But the qualification. Bad man. Oh, unicorn.
That's how I described him.
I saw unicorn.
No, but you see, let me be bold and say this. Mofa come on
we tell each other tomorrow.
Chelsea PSG, if there is any team that lost by a 3-goal margin or more in Europe to overturn the deficit, is Chelsea. It is Chelsea. Can I make my statement?
Can
I make my statement?
I one kasa na wote odasino. Pim.
I don't know how
I ban say no do kwei. Na me
Can I make my
statement?
I am saying if there is any team that lost by a 3-goal margin or more across Europe that has a chance of qualifying, it is Chelsea.
Hey, Miraho.
Okay. Now there are mysterious ways where the holders of the Champions League are kicked out if you are not Real Madrid. Yep. PSG can be eliminated.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Against Chelsea.
Okay.
So just mark it down.
Okay, thank you.
I want to back it with any scientific analysis or whatsoever. But what I will say is that if there is any team capable of overturning the deficit,
Chelsea.
it is Chelsea. Let's move on to the other games.
The 32nd minute 3-1 never hit like crack.
Against Paris Saint-Germain.
Against Chelsea never hit like crack.
See, I can bet phone to phone with you. Paris Saint-Germain. Some will be show.
Ube yi ọmọ fi.
Masa, you know how bet no.
Missing ube yi ọmọ fi.
You know say 30 minutes 3-1.
Oh, some say I said Chelsea will be there. But Chelsea will qualify.
Entrepreneur na sa be so mo. Entrepreneur. Chelsea be show.
So there was a peculiar thing that happened. English teams, 6 teams went to the party, and none came out with victory. Right?
Yeah.
The best was an Arsenal draw. Liverpool losing by a slim margin, Newcastle draw, and then the rest of the English teams, there was Tottenham, Chelsea, they lost. Manchester City lost as well, all by 3-goal margins. So where do you see the English teams from then, after the first leg? What happens in the second leg?
So I feel they've placed themselves in, a difficult situation in terms of they representing the so-called best league in the whole world. Because see, it goes beyond the football. Right now, we talk about bragging rights. I remember when we finished, playing those matches on X and other social media accounts, everybody was making fun of the EPL, saying the so-called EPL, the La Liga teams are doing this, the Italian teams are doing this. So it goes beyond the football, and bragging rights is at stake. But I feel some will, obviously bow out, but some will overturn it, especially looking at Liverpool. I see Liverpool overturning the scoreline and qualifying. I see Arsenal going through, and I see Manchester City going through.
Man City going
Trust
through.
me, that is obviously the complex one I just said right now, but I know people will start
Why are you
looking at me.
confident City will qualify?
Okay.
Before I bring the others in.
Fine. So City will be playing home. I believe.
Chelsea also plays at home though.
Yeah. Chelsea too will somehow qualify.
Yeah, so why will City qualify?
Good. So I believe there will be a rush of activity in terms of when the match starts.
In the
first 20-30 minutes. The first 20-30 minutes will tell you if they will qualify or not. See, if Real Madrid is conceding, they concede. So Madrid, Kasi, Shana.
And City beat me Cameroon 3-0 first 90 minutes.
Obet me Chanechi 4-0 30 minutes.
What makes you confident about this City
It's
team?
because of Pep Guardiola factor. And
Pep Guardiola this season.
Pep
Guardiola season Syria.
Guardiola you.
Me na me
This is where judge ready.
Okay, so when Pep used
Oh,
to
me
do-
can't wait.
I'm
Yeah,
coming.
then this one. No problem.
Now, when Pep used to do that, there were elements in the playing body who were like initiators. So like Alke Gundogan, like Kevin De Bruyne. When push got to shove, there were players who could bail City out,
Yeah.
weave magic on their own, turn things around.
Yeah.
Do you find such embodiment in the current Manchester City team?
Okay. So I won't say like for like they have that. But I say they have players enough to score this Madrid side 4 or 3. This unanswered or even more. Because this Madrid side.
Does this City team have character? Because I dare say Madrid is a team of character, even in their current fold, than Manchester City is. I don't know what your disagreement will be.
But I am saying the Ujidian are the year, man.
Okay.
I'm saying.
No club in the history of the UCL has ever overturned a 3-0 first leg defeat against Real Madrid.
History man.
I'm saying this. Say Ebana Adania.
History
Yo.
man.
Say Ebana Adania. Ahwadina would my history now more cancer. Move us ahwadina breaking me down. Move me seeing Fiifi now.
Okay, so this is what we are going to do. So this is what we are going to do. I'm going to mention the fixtures and everyone will give me teams likely to qualify. So Sporting CP Bodo Glimt.
Kwame Boadu. You want that?
Sporting CP Bodo. Sporting CP. Okay. Chelsea PSG. Chelsea win.
Yeah, we qualify.
Chelsea win and qualify.
The PSG will qualify there.
PSG.
Man City Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Man City.
Real Madrid.
Okay. Then Arsenal by Leverkusen.
Arsenal.
Bayern Leverkusen. Me see a do ha me pese be do ade ya show no ma ya show ne normal as ye to aso be ma me nyesa o hu se ne mo ye me no
Arsenal by Leverkusen.
Bayern Leverkusen.
Liverpool Galatasaray.
Gala.
Arsenal don't be born way.
Emirates. I'm giving you an opportunity. Arsenal by Leverkusen.
Arsenal.
What?
Canadian. Arsenal.
Okay, Liverpool Galatasaray.
Oh, Liverpool qualified.
Liverpool to qualify. Okay. Then Barcelona Newcastle.
Barca to even qualify, even win by even 4 goals.
I go Newcastle.
Barcelona Newcastle.
Barca.
Eddie Howe Nyame Newcastle.
Okay. Tottenham Atletico Madrid.
Wow, host, wow. Liverpool Nasa. Tottenham.
I'm say I'm relegation. I'm going to survive you.
Tottenham.
I'm Champions League now.
I got two not because the other two teams I don't understand. I remember then the Liverpool.
I think for now they are more concentrated on the league, how they are going to survive.
Yeah.
I think Atletico Madrid will nick this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't even ask about Atlanta and Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich don't have a goalkeeper.
No,
No, you started
Nah,
training.
But
I-
you are thinking of Madrid, though.
Only say grab better point in my mama shop. Only better point. Ever.
So Bayern Munich, Atlanta.
Still that was
Handicap 4 goals to Vezako.
Handicap there.
4 goals.
that's
So that Yapon.
Oh, but on Thursday.
Yapon.
Oh, me Casemiro be natural for. I'm promising the listeners, I'll come and tell them where the Champions League winner will come from.
So bye bye.